Hey guys, welcome back to the Dueling RCA chassis projects. I'm switching my attention now to the dirtier, the nastier chassis, the one that goes in the tabletop version. I am doing some cleaning topside. Underneath it's actually not bad. And it's, I think, all original or very close to being all original. Topside we have some rodent initiated corrosion, I think, and just really dirty. A lot of debris, some droppings, probably nesting material, and dust and dirt. So I'm trying to give it a deep clean, short of taking it outside and shooting it with a hose. I started doing this area just to get a sense of what I'm in store for. Underneath the filth, it's not too bad. So after cleaning, I use some navel jelly to remove corrosion on that. There's still a little bit left. I got most of it off. Now I'm starting to work in this area. This is missing the high voltage cover when I got the set, but I had a spare. I scavenged ages ago. It fits in there nicely. But before I install that, I really want to get in here because it's pretty grungy, and I noticed some of the screws were missing already, which makes me nervous. It makes me think it might be an issue somebody was poking around with. So I'm endeavoring to take this apart. Unlike some sets where you can just take the cage off and all this stuff is attached to the chassis, this is a bit different. Some of the stuff, like the flyback, is actually screwed to the side of the high voltage box. So when you're going to take the box off, you have to disconnect it, which means it's loose. The width coil up here is actually snapped into a hole in this, which is riveted. So you can't, either have to unwire it or get in there with a tool of some sort and mush in the tab so it pops loose. This really isn't an issue. One other thing that'll really hold me up right now is I have a wire coming through down below. I think that goes to the yoke. Well, one good thing is it comes through, snakes around, and connects right here. So if I disconnect that, I think I can move it enough and then undo these final two screws, which will detach this mounting plate. And then I'll be left with the high voltage lead, which has this cap on the end, and it goes through a hole, and that's not going to fit through the hole. So we'll see. But even with this, if I leave it connected with that length on it, I can at least take this box and move it to the side while I investigate and clean down here. And something else we need to take a look at is what's behind this, which is a big power resistor. It looks very corroded from what I can see of it. I've never taken one of these apart, but it sure looks to me like we just take a screw off of either end and we can get in there. I can ohm it out on the other side, but I want to see how bad the corrosion is first. Okay, well, it's concentrated at one end, obviously. Now, if we're really lucky, maybe it's just the outer casing that's corroded, and inside it's not. It's hard to see what's going on here, but at the core of it there's an insulating material. There's resistance wire wrapped around that, and then I imagine some other insulating material around that, and then it's encased in metal. So yeah, getting in there to, well, you really can't repair them too easily. They don't make things like this anymore. If this is bad, what you can do is drill out these rivets, take it out, and simply get some modern aluminum metal encased power resistors. You have to use discrete ones. I think you need 4 or 5, and drill in some new holes and mount them here and connect them together. This is not impossible by any means. Yep, disconnecting that wire and popping this coil loose allowed me to move the cage off to the side, and boy, that's nasty. So do you have to clean something in order to power it up to see if it works? No, but it's a lot easier to see what's going on and to visually inspect things and troubleshoot it. If you clean it, not to mention, yeah, disconnecting that wire and popping this coil loose allowed me to move the cage out of the way, and yeah, it's nasty under there. I was hoping that this being in place would have kept some of the nastiness out of there, but no, it extends all throughout the entire high voltage box area. So do you absolutely have to clean something like this in order to power it up, or to see if the set works? No, but makes it easier to visual inspect it if you do clean it. And there might be a bit of a stink if this area gets hot and you have all that crap in there. So plus I just want to do a thorough job on this, so I'm going to clean all that junk out. There are a few parts underneath here. I think maybe I'll have to disconnect a wire or two to really twist this up and out of the way. And a couple resistors down there, a mica cap. Not a ton of stuff, but there is some stuff on the underside of that board. And we got a fuse. Looks like it's been replaced at some point. Good thing is I don't see any signs of damage. Just about done with work in this area, but I had to point something out. This is the tube that I found in that socket. That's supposed to be a damper tube. Should be a 5V4. What I found was a 5U4. Same pinout, both dual rectifiers, but this does not work as well as a damper as a 5V4. So see if I can scrounge one up. Here's kind of a fancy late production 5V4GA. It'll do. It has superior specs, but it should be backwards compatible. So let's pop that guy in. I installed a new 250 milliamp fuse. I need to get out my little test CRT. And well, let's tip this thing on its side before I bother with that. Go this way. Yeah, it's safe to tip it this way. The other side of the chassis has a coil on the side. This makes it not so nice to tip on that side because there's little screws that stick out. This way is stable. Before I do anything, let's check that power resistor. That's lug there, lug there, lug there, lug there. And by the way, they're pretty sure there's a sheet of asbestos behind it because it was made in the 40s, and why wouldn't there be some asbestos in it? So let's take a gander. So if that's open, then we're not doing a power up. There's just no point. Well, I guess we could power it up and just see if the tube filaments light up, but power supply will not work. This is a critical component of it. So there's one lug. It's not an easy thing to get at. About 600 ohms. That looks reasonable. This section. 500-600 ohms. See, I printed out the schematic just now. So there's a 650, a 650, 6.8, 1.8, 850. So the two 650s look okay. A little hard to get down in there. Oh, 500K, that doesn't seem right. Okay, here we go. No rectifier tube. Looking good. Current draw seems normal. Oh, we got that going for us. Tell you what, we're going to poke around with the 5U4 in, do the usual slow power up, and things seem to be proceeding in the right direction. I can tack in this power resistor. It's 13 watt, not as nice as a chassis mount one, but for short durations this should hold up well enough. So there we go. Starting with only about 30 volts. And just keep going up and see how we fare. Well, this is encouraging. Only have about 80 volts going into the set so far, but we can already illuminate the fluorescent tube. I'm actually getting about 5 kilovolts with 90 volts AC going into the set, so this just might illuminate the CRT. Let's make sure we're charged on this guy. There's no load on it, as far as possible. Okie dokie, here we go. Yes, 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 yes. It's not much, but it's something. Actually, looks like we don't have any deflection. Or, I don't know what's going on exactly, but it's something. Consider I haven't really done any work yet. That's not bad. That's not bad. Hey, hey, what do you know? We've got an image on the tabletop RCA chassis. So, let me get you guys up to speed. A few things. One, I was wrong about the power resistor on the back. It does not have an open section. I was just having trouble making contact with my ohm meter when I was testing it earlier. I still think it should be replaced because of all the corrosion, but it is actually okay. So I started poking around with the set more, and I was not getting any hint of reception. Also, when I first powered this up, we just had a smudge on there. When I reassembled the high voltage box, I didn't connect one side of the horizontal yoke winding. So when I connected that, it filled up the screen. So I started recapping, poking around. I just could not get any signal in, so I started trying signal injection. And the only way I could get anything on the screen was to go to the grid of the final video amp. Everything before that was dead. So I was poking around, replacing more caps, a few out-of-spec resistors, just nothing. And just now, while checking voltages, there was a little crack pop, and a picture appeared. What I'm guessing is there was a short somewhere, quite possibly from me doing work. A little component lead, a little fleck of solder was somewhere it shouldn't have been. or a loose, bad tube connection. Remember, the top was quite filthy. I've been going through and spraying deoxit into the tube sockets and whatnot. Ooh, picture just kind of went out there for a sec. So, definitely still have more work to do. The vertical linearity is pretty bad. I have more paper caps to replace, and the vertical circuit and all the electrolytics need to get replaced. And I haven't replaced any of the caps down there, which is, I think there's a vertical output. So that's very likely why the vertical linearity is terrible. But hey, yeah, I kind of wish I knew what the problem had been. So I spent a couple hours trying to troubleshoot it, but I'm glad it's working now. Alright, now that the set is producing an image, I'm going through and finishing off the recap. Just replace the damaged AC interlock. Using Adapt-A-Caps, just replaced this guy that's underneath the chassis. There's 3 more to do topside. And more importantly, I've been contacted by some of you guys about parts I need. Guys that are going to the upcoming early television convention. So I think I have a lead on a replacement tuner for the other RCA chassis, and knobs and a picture tube for the Philco, and a better cabinet and a good control and a good peaking coil for the GE. So that's all happening in 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from now, 3 projects that are temporarily on hold hopefully can continue. Meanwhile, I'm going to keep chugging along with this, but I'm going to leave off with you now, and when we pick up, hopefully this chassis will be completely done and working, and we'll put a full-size CRT in it and see what kind of image it can produce. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.